Welcome students. In the last video lecture, I had explained you few of the typical sums of section D of exercise 3, that is question number 10 and question number 12. In the same way, today I am going to teach you few of the typical sums of section C. Also in the last video lecture, I had discussed the weightage of this chapter in the board examination and in which section how many marks question is being asked. That also we had discussed in the last video lecture. So do refer it again. Now moving on to section C. Today I have selected three sums that are different from the sums till now. That is question number 6 first of all that we are referring. Reading the question, if the regression coefficient of the regression line of y on x is 0.6, it means the regression coefficient of regression line. It means regression line of y on x that is given to you 0.6. And the standard deviation of x and y are 5 and 3 respectively. It means three data that has been given to you, that is regression line of y on x, standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y. From these three data you have to find the coefficient of determination. It means capital R square. Already we had discussed what is coefficient of determination and what is its formula in the previous video lectures. Okay. Now moving on to the solution of it, you can see on the board first of all I have written what data has been given in the question. That is b value that is given to regression line of y on x means b by x. So b is equal to 0.6, standard deviation of x it is denoted as sx is equal to 5, standard deviation of y it is denoted as sy is equal to 3, and r that I have given as question mark, because we are knowing the formula of coefficient of determination, that is capital R square is equal to small r square. So first of all we have to find the value of r. If we get the value of r, then easily we'll be able to find the value of capital R square also. Okay, so by this formula you are knowing it. In the last video lecture we had applied this formula only, that is b is equal to r into sy upon sx. Okay, so r value we have to find out from this formula. B value already we have got, sy value is also given in the question, and sx value is also given in the question. So r, separating r in the equation, b into sx upon sy, because cross multiplication will happen. So b into sx upon sy. So b into sx upon sy. What is the value of b that is given? That is 0.6. 0.6 into sx value that is given 5 and upon 3. Okay. Now to make this calculation simple, I have done 0.6 into dividing it by 10. So 6 by 10 came over here. So 6 by 10 into 5 by 3. You will cancel it. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 5 1s are 5 and 5 2s are 10. 2 will be again cancelled. So remaining that would be only 1. Okay, so the value of r that comes to 1. So if the value of r comes 1, then you are knowing capital R square is equal to small r square. So small r square means 1 square. 1 square is equal to 1. So value of coefficient of determination will also come 1. When the value of correlation coefficient comes 1, then square of correlation coefficient is equal to capital R square. So coefficient of determination will also come 1. So it was a very short sum, but this type of typical sums can be asked in the examination in 2 marks. Okay. Now moving on to the next sum that I have chosen, that is question number 7 of the same section, that is section C. Let us read the question first of all. If the regression line of y on x is y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x, you are knowing y cap is equal to a plus bx. In the bigger sums, we are finding the estimated value of y. We are finding the regression line of y on x, whereby this formula, that is y cap is equal to a plus bx. So here it has been given, that is regression line of y on x, that is y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x, and covariance of xy that is given to you 50. These two data have been given in the question, and what you have to find, that is the standard deviation of x. It means sx that you have to find by the given data. So let us see the calculation of it. Over here the question given, that is y cap is equal to 35 plus 2x and covariance of xy that is 50, and whatever we have to find out, that I have done question mark over here. So easily you can understand at the end that whatever has been asked in the question, whether we have found or not. Okay. Now by this equation you are knowing y cap is equal to a plus bx. So this in place of b, over here it is 2. So the value of b that would come as 2. Okay, now you are knowing b is equal to covariance of xy upon standard deviation of x square. Students, in the last video lecture also I discussed that you have to decide in smaller sums, no matter they are smaller sums, but which formula has to be applied according to the given data, that you have to get the spontaneous idea at that time. Okay, so here you should understand that according to the given data, this formula has to be applied over here. So b is equal to covariance of xy upon standard deviation of x square. Now standard deviation of x square, that we have to find out. B value already we have found from this regression line of y and x, that is b value came to 2, and covariance of xy, that is already given in the question, that is 50. Okay, now placing the value in place of b, I'll put 2. 2 is equal to covariance of xy, that is given to you 50 upon sx square. Now placing sx square in numerator and 2 in denominator, so sx square is equal to 50 divided by 2. 50 divided by 2, so sx square, that would come to 25. Now to remove the square, we'll do the root in the opposite side, on the right hand side. So sx is equal to root of 25. Over here square will be removed, so on the other side it will become root. Okay, you are knowing in the lower standards already you have studied. In order to remove the square from one side, on the other side it will become the root. Okay, so here root of 25, it would come to 5. So value of standard deviation of x, that would come to 5. Okay, now moving on to the last question, that is question number 10 for today's video lecture, that I am reading on the same page, that is 151 section C. Question number 10. If b value byx is equal to 0.5, u is equal to 6 into bracket x minus 20, and v is equal to 2y minus 15 for the data in the study of a regression line, then find the value of bvu. Students, this is the typical sum, this type of typical sum that I have taught you in the last video lecture. If you refer it, then in section D, question number 12, in that 3 different conditions of u and v were given to you, and byx value that was given to you, and from that 3 different conditions of u and v, you have to find the value of bvu. So this is one of that condition. It is a part of that question. Over here, see, you can see byx is given to you 0.75, u value that is given to you 6 into bracket x minus 20, v value that is given to you 2 into bracket y minus 15, and you have to find bvu. From these 3 given data, you have to find the value of bvu. Now, first of all, you should know that u is equal to 6 into bracket x minus 20, that is given to you. Now in the bigger sums, you might be knowing we are taking x minus a upon cx. Yes or no? So over here, x minus a, what will be the value of a over here? That is 20. And cx, over here 6, cx is in numerator. In order to make it in denominator, it will be in denominator will be 1 by 6. So over here it is in multiplication. To bring it in denominator, it will become 1 by 6. So the value of cx, that would come to 1 by 6. In the same way, we have to find the value of cy from the equation that is given for v. So v is equal to, that is given 2 into bracket y minus 15. So same way, that is you are knowing y minus b upon cy we were taking. Yes or no? In the table, when we are finding the value of b in case of longer sums, at that time we are placing this type of equation in order to find the value of u and v. So over here same thing, v is equal to y minus b upon cy. So y minus b, what will be the value of b? That is 15 over here, and cy, that is given over here in multiplication. So in order to bring it in denominator, it will be 1 by 2. Instead of 2, it will become 1 by 2. So cy value, that would come to 1 by 2. Now both the values that are required for the formula that has came, that is cx and cy, that is 1 by 6 and 1 by 2. Now moving on to further calculation, bvu. bvu is equal to byx divided by cy upon cx. This formula already we had applied in the last video lecture in question number 12. If you want, you can refer from that video lecture. So this sum would be easily understandable to you. Okay. Now bvu is equal to byx divided by cy upon cx. Now byx into, now division you are knowing. In order to make the division into multiplication in smaller standards, in lower standards, you already studied, to make division into multiplication, the inverse of this 2 will happen. Right? So cy upon cx, in order to make your multiplication, it will become cx upon cy. Okay. Now byx value already that is given in the question, that is 0.75. So 0.75 into 1 into 2 upon 6 into 1. Now how that came? So 0.75 into, what is the value of cx? Cx value that already we have got, that is 1 by 6. So into 1 by 6 upon value of cy, that is 1 by 2. Now we are knowing here there are 4 terms, first, second, third and fourth. All are in denominator of each other, right? So you are knowing first with fourth term and second with third term. Always the multiplication would be like this. Then there are 4 terms in denominator of each other. It would become first with fourth term, second with third term. Always remember this rule, okay? So first with fourth term, that means 1 multiplied by 2. So here you can see 1 multiplied by 2, and in upon denominator it will become second with third term. So second term is 6 and third term is 1. So 6 into 1. Now 2 ones are 2 and 2 threes are 6. Here already it is 1. So it will become into 1 by 3. So directly I have written 0.75 upon 3. Dividing 0.75 divided by 3, you will get the answer, that is 0.25. So the value of BVU, that would come to 0.25. So students, these are the few of the typical sums that I have selected especially because that can be asked in the board examination in section C of 2 marks. So do refer all these sums again from the video lecture. Till then, goodbye. Keep practicing. Stay blessed.